Hey guys, Chelsea from Attention to Details. It is a gorgeous fall day. We're like in the 50s and 60s and it's supposed to be getting colder the next couple of weeks. Figured let's go ahead and do a coating update for you guys on my Subaru Outback. It's been very dry, very dusty. When my vehicle gets stored outside, it's covered in dust, and then wouldn't you know it, it had to go ahead and sprinkle the other day. So now we've got those glorious little dirty water spots all over the paint. So we're going to actually wash it with CarPro Descale. It is an acid-based soap that's going to help remove mild water spotting. And then we're going to actually do a water spot treatment with McKee's 37, their fast water spot remover. It's an acid-free formula. It's not going to be aggressive or weaken the ceramic coatings, but it should help us to kind of see what's really going on with the coatings after we remove any potential water spots that we might have with the paint. So this is a real-world durability test versus a chemical torture test. I'm not going to be throwing any unnecessary or extreme chemicals on it just for the sake of either entertainment or trying to kill the coatings. I'm going to be using chemicals that you would use on a day-to-day basis to maintain a ceramic-coated vehicle with. I normally do try to wash my vehicle before it rains to actually try to avoid this very issue, but now we have potential water spots that have etched into the paint. Hopefully we're going to be able to remove those without having to use aggressive cleaners or possibly polish. There's a few areas that we do not have a ceramic coating on, namely the right side of the roof. You can actually see we have our C6 Hydro light ceramic coating here, and then over here we have no protection. So less water spotting on the areas that have no protection, which I find interesting. That doesn't mean that I'm going to make the argument that therefore you should have no protection on your vehicle if you want to avoid water spots, because the dirt is going to stick to this paint more aggressively versus the panels that have protection. So yes, while we might have more water spotting issues on this, the dirt will blast off with high pressure water alone without me having to be aggressive, whereas the panels that have no protection, they're going to be more stubborn with the dirt, and then you're going to have to be more aggressive with removing it, which could potentially scratch the paint. I want to know, can the coatings keep up with the high demands of an aggressive environment, dirt, being parked outside, water spotting issues, and then the proper chemicals that we need to remove these issues from the paint without weakening the ceramic coatings. Those are all things that I'm looking for in this test. So first up on the hood, we have our McKee's 37 graphene coatings. I can see we have some water spotting issues. The areas where the water is just sticking, that's our water spot. That's where we need to wash it first to see if we can remove that. And then we'll address if our contact wash doesn't remove it. Notice how our bird dropping comes off with ease with our high pressure water. So we had our 10-year graphene coating, 5-year graphene coating in the middle, followed by our 3-year max coating on our hood. Over here we have our no hype 3-year coating. That's actually the equivalent to the Black Rhino graphics coating. I do see some sheeting. It does look like it's not 100%, but we need to do a contact wash, declog it, and see where we're at. Over here we have our fat beads from Black Rhino, and fat beads is actually the equivalent of the no hype 12-month ceramic coating. So technically, even though it's fat beads, we have the no hype 12-month, the no hype 3-year. That's just interesting. What do you guys think? Over here we have our optics coating. Bugs blast off with ease, and then we have our graphics coating. Quick sheeting, nice beading. So this is our Ethos Easy Peasy coating. It does look easily clogged. And then we've got our Ethos Graphene ceramic coating. I'm not seeing as much of an issue with the water spotting with the graphene. Over here we have our DIY detail 3-year, 5-year, 8-year, and then our stack, which is the 8-year plus the 3-year combined. All 3 of them all 4 of them actually, look identical. Over here we have our Meguiar's M888, Geon Mohs, Vonix V paint. Out of all of the coatings that I applied, the Geon Mohs Evo was by far my favorite when it came to the application. Meguiar's, Geon Mohs, Vonix V paint. I can see areas where my kids like to touch to close the door, even though there's a perfectly good handle right there, Charlie. Over here we have our G-Technique CSL, and then we have CSL topped with EXO V5. Again, you can see some water spots there. I'm very impressed with how water just doesn't want to stick to our CSL EXO V5 section. CSL by itself, we have some sheeting, then over here it just wants to fly off the panel. Back here is a control panel, we have nothing on it. On our roof we have C6 Hydro Light. How the water just sticks to the panel, whereas our C6 Hydro is nice big fat piece, but we do have some water spotting issues as well. Back here we have our armor detail by the Pro Quartz. It looks fantastic, even on a trunk that gets abused. And then we've got our Veros Pro ceramic coating. So we have our Chronos V1, and then our Stoner paint ceramic coating in the middle, followed by Apex Servant Protection VC1. They all look pretty identical. Over here we have all 3 of our DuraSlick ceramic coatings. We have our Extreme HG, we have our HB, and then our mobile ceramic coating. Again, all 3 look very similar side by side. Maybe our mobile, a little bit more sheeting or flooding. And then last but not least, we have our Aquatech ceramic coatings. It looks like it wants to sheet more. I've noticed that when I did a quick wash the other month, and I think that's actually a very good feature to have. I actually prefer sometimes sheeting coating. Mobile friendly, sun friendly, and again, this was where we had our Superior Products nano coating and it failed. Like we have a little bit that's holding on for dear life, but for the most part that has failed. So we've got 4 or 5 sections that we could apply fresh coatings to. We're going to do our wash with CarPro D-Scale, and we're going to do a fast water spot remover treatment, and we're going to do that in time lapse and then bring you guys back in to see if that changed, affected positively or negatively any of the ceramic coatings and their hydrophobic properties. For those who have never maintained a ceramic coated vehicle, you don't necessarily need to foam on a soap. You can just do a high pressure rinse, but I'm trying to break down some of the mineral deposits that might have accumulated in the few weeks or months since we've washed it. We're going to do a contact wash, and this is where the magic happens typically with ceramic coated vehicles, because this is really all you really need to do to declog a ceramic coating if it's not been too long since you've done a contact wash or you have bigger issues going on. We can see our hydrophobics look increased, improved. Now we're going to do a water spot treatment. Now this is an acid-free formula, like I said before. This is kind of the first step before we need to get into more aggressive chemicals. So this is where I always like to start, and then we can always reevaluate once we've done this service. And I'll share with you guys like what I was seeing versus what I'm seeing now, but it definitely improved several of our ceramic coatings. It did not weaken any of our coatings that I can tell, and I think you guys are going to be really impressed with some of the findings. So we have our 10-year graphene coating, 5-year graphene coating, and then the 3-year max coating on our hood. Remember before when we had some ghosting of mineral deposits on the paint? Now all of those visual water spot cues have been removed, and we just see nice big tall graphene beads. All three look fantastic, ridiculously tall beads. They look very uniform at this point. I'm kind of curious to see, like in a year or two, if we have a huge difference. But we have our graphics coating from Black Rhino, and I can see it wants to sheet more than bead, and I think that's by design. We also have the optics coating. It's a faster sheeter. We do have some beads, but it sheets faster. But over here, our graphics, you can just see not as tall beads, but it definitely sheets almost to the point of being dry. Some of you may like that. Some of you want more beads. It really just depends on preference. Over here we have our fat beads, which if you recall is the equivalent of our 1-year no hype ceramic coating. So really nice tight beads. Over here is our no hype 3-year ceramic coating, or AKA Black Rhino graphics. And you can see we have very nice sheeting, all but to the point of wanting to sheet dry. So we've got two completely different coatings, 3-year, 1-year, that are going to give you different hydrophobic properties as well as durability. I think that's really great value. Very affordable, very easy to apply. So that actually is a win for me. Now, I will tell you, this was easily clogged. I noticed at about 4 months, this was struggling, but it has recovered with a water spot treatment and declogging it. So the more you can better maintain certain ceramic coatings that maybe they're not pro grade, more user friendly, the better they're gonna look, the better they're gonna perform for you. So take it for what it's worth. We're gonna have some pro grade coatings on here that you can throw gasoline on it and they're still gonna be fine. I mean, I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying they're gonna be more durable because they're designed to be more durable, but you're gonna pay more and it's gonna be more of an involved process. For the beginner who has no experience with ceramic coating, we got sheeting, we got beading. So I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from the No Hype and Black Rhino. Over here we have our Ethos Easy Peasy. And I'll be honest with you, that wasn't looking so hot before we did our contact wash and water spot treatment. I actually thought it was starting to fail. Now we've got really nice quick sheeting, nice beads, nice hydrophobics. So I think this is similar to like our No Hype and Black Rhino. When you have user-friendly, beginner-friendly coatings that are more affordable, they may not be quite as tenacious, because over here we have our graphene coating, completely different characteristics. We have taller beads that want to just fall off the panel more quickly. Over here we've got bigger beads and more sheeting. So again, characteristics, what you're looking for. This takes a little bit more skill set, not as user-friendly, but it is extremely user-friendly, don't get me wrong. But again, maintenance is key to get the most out of certain coatings, but typically all coatings. Over here we have our DIY detail. We have 3-year, 5-year, 8-year stack. I feel like our 3-year wants to sheet a little bit more, but that's the characteristics of the graphene as well. And then our stack is just ridiculously hydrophobic. Then we have our Meguiar's M888, Geon Mohs, Von XV paint. This one, again, looked like it was struggling. We We do have more sheeting. I don't mind that though. I prefer some sheeting within my coating. But our McGuire's M888 and our Geon Mode. A little bit more sheeting with Geon, but all three look like they're doing great. Back here we have our G-Technique CSL. More sheeting, and then topped with our EXO V5. That's going to transform it to a rapid beater. I mean, the water doesn't even want to stick. They are smaller beads versus our CSLs. But again, a little bit of sheeting and then beating. Here's our 6 Hydro Light. Really nice, tall beads. No water spotting issues that I can detect. I'm very, very impressed with this coating, what I'm seeing as far as hydrophobics, how easy it was to apply. You can see our 50/50 with our control panel. And then on our trunk, we have our Armor Detail Supply, their Pro Quartz coating. I'm not seeing any weaknesses whatsoever. We did have kind of that area right here where it looked a little clogged. That has been remedied with our contact wash. And our control panel and Vero's Pro ceramic coating. It does look like a very rapid sheeter if I were to flood it. It looks a little bit different than our Armor. Just really tight beads. So there's 2 of our pro grade ceramic coatings. So here we have our Kronos V1 Stoner Paint ceramic coating, Apex Surface Protection BC1. What do you guys think so far out of all of our ceramic coatings? Which ones look the best to you? Which ones would you prefer for your customers or your own vehicles? Let me know in the comment section down below. So here we have our Duraslick ceramic coatings. We have our Extreme HG, our HG, Holy Grail, and then the Mobile ceramic coating. This one looks to be a little bit more sheeting, but all 3 look fantastic. Last but not least, our Aquatech ceramic coating. This is a Florida-based company that makes mobile-friendly, sun-friendly ceramic coatings. I can see it wants to sheet more, which I'll be honest with you guys, out of all of the ceramic coatings, this one looks like it's designed to be that way, just very rapid sheeting. I actually really like that. I'm a fan of it. I'm not a fan of the fact that someone hit my vehicle the other day and scratched it and dented it, but that's a problem for future me to deal with. Back here we had our Superior Products nano ceramic coating that failed at a month. Womp womp. But there you have it. All of our ceramic coatings, how they are performing almost 6 months in. We did have some that were having some clogging issues. So again, maintenance is key with any ceramic coating, but especially your more user-friendly, beginner-friendly retail products. The better you can maintain them, the better they're going to perform. They're not going to be able to withstand road film, road salts, chemicals, and excess water spots, and the chemicals that we need to treat those issues as much as some of your more pro grade ceramic coatings. So you get what you put into your ceramic coating. It doesn't mean maintenance is difficult. It literally took me 5 minutes to wash this entire thing. It took me more time just to kind of walk around and show you guys each panel, but hopefully you guys appreciate information like this, how to get the most out of your ceramic coatings. I am going to put the links to these 2 products down below for those of you that have a coating on your vehicle, want to get the most out of it, do some water spot treatments and restore the hydrophobics. 9 times out of 10, that's going to fix any ceramic coatings issue. If you have more aggressive water spots where you need an acid-based water spot remover, that would be kind of your step up. I'll put the link to some products that I recommend down below, because obviously if they are so stubborn or they've been on there for so long or baked in the sun and a chemical cannot remove it, at that point then you have to polish it off, and then that basically removes your ceramic coating. So the better you can maintain a coating to prevent these issues from becoming etched into the paint and more stubborn, the better you're going to get more out of the coating and not have to use aggressive measures to treat those issues. So there you have it, a closer look at our 30 ceramic coatings, how they are performing. What do you guys think? Which ones look the most impressive? Which characteristics do you guys like to see out of a ceramic coating? For me, I'm rooting for a few just because they're the ones that I apply to my customers' vehicles. Obviously, our 5-year graphene from a Keys 37, BC1, that's kind of my 2-year option. But I've worked with all of these coatings sporadically over the years. I've seen really great things from many of them. So it's nice to see that the coatings that I'm putting on my customers' vehicles, when properly maintained, that's the key, they're going to get the value out of the investment that they're putting into their vehicle. So hopefully you guys enjoy a closer look at our coatings. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Stay tuned for future updates on our coatings. I know better going into this now that some of these coatings, they need a little bit more of a involved approach versus kind of just letting it go 4 or 5 months without washing. If a customer comes to me and says, why did my coating fail? Well, how have you been maintaining it? Well, I haven't. Well, there's your answer. So some of these coatings, you definitely need to be a little bit more involved. Hopefully you guys appreciate and enjoy a little bit more information behind some of these coatings. We're gonna put the links to all of these coatings down below for those of you that want to try them out for yourself. For those of you that are still watching, here's some satisfying slow motion water beads for you to enjoy. You're probably what I like to call a hydrophobe addict, because I know I am. Because I know I'm enjoying this just as much as you guys probably are. For those of you that maybe you're new to maintaining a ceramic coated vehicle, using a blower to dry the vehicle is one of the best ways to take advantage of the insane hydrophobic characteristics that they have. You can blow 95% of the water off, then come in with your drying towel and either a ceramic detailer that can help refresh the hydrophobics or top it, or, like I'm using, a rinseless wash in a spray bottle. This will give you extra lubrication as you dry and just give you a streak-free finish. This is a great way to maintain and dry your ceramic coated vehicle and prevent swirls and scratches on the finish. We started off with applying 29 ceramic coatings to my Outback, and we still have several more spaces available for us to apply ceramic coatings to. As we move into wintertime, it's critical that I get my vehicle protected. So in the next few days, we're actually going to be applying 5 to 6 more ceramic coatings to my Outback. So make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our new coatings being applied, as well as any of the updates that we do for this test. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But we will see you guys in the very next detail.